Where'd I go? There I am. Hello, beautiful people. I had it on the wrong setting. That was embarrassing. All right. Welcome to No Butts About It. I am your host, Josh Butts. You are watching the number one podcast that is filmed in Northeast Indiana with currently less than 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and only talks about the NFL. I think all of that is true. Hopefully, we get rid of that 1,000. We get over that 1,000 mark soon. But yeah, we got Chris Vikings here, who's always giving us some sarcastic breaking news. What's he got this week? Just 16 days away from Bengals drafting their next quarterback. Also, Bengals and Packers suck. Well, maybe we'll draft a backup quarterback, but I doubt we're drafting a starter. But that's our breaking news from Chris Vikings today. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all so much. It's been a bit of a rough week for me, maybe for you as well. And you know what? We're going to set that all aside here for the next hour and just talk some football. We got some signings. We got some rumors. We got some releases we're going to be talking about. And then, of course, we're going to do a mock draft. So make sure to stick around. Drop your name in the chat because if I know you're a fan of the team, you're going to be making the pick. We're also going to be doing a 2-round draft with trades this time around. Last week we did 1 round, no trades. 10,000 subscribers if you count the voices in my head, bro. Dude, the voices on your head need YouTube accounts. I don't think YouTube will count those, but let me know. I'll check with them. Let's get it done. Anyway, let's first, talk about the big story of the week. Dexter Lawrence requesting a trade from the New York Giants. Now, Sexy Dexy is in the middle of a 4-year contract that's got 2 years left on it and averages about $22.5 million per year. I believe it's about 24 1 year and then like something like 18 the next year. Anyway, it evens out to be about 22.5. No guaranteed money, and that seems to be the contending factor for his camp is we want the guaranteed money. Dexter Lawrence came off of an injury last season. He had a dislocated elbow. He's only had half a sack all of last season, which is way down for him. His numbers are usually way better. Now, he is a defensive tackle, so that's not necessarily the number one stat to look at when looking at him, but that's kind of what he's been known for, is getting premium sacks at that defensive tackle position. Now, there are some teams that are going to be looking at him or should be looking at him, I should say. Obviously, the Giants are going to look at getting a deal done with him, figuring that out. John Harbaugh said he was not surprised that Lawrence requested a trade. They would just like to, work through this. This is part of the business. We'll see what happens. The Chargers, if our Chargers fans are in here, I believe, should be looking into it. They got Taylor Tart, and then after that position kind of falls off. 49ers have been actively trying to improve their defensive line. Same with the Chicago Bears. They were in on the Trey Hendrickson lottery. So I would expect them to also be in on Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is younger than Trey Hendrickson. Who says no? T. Higgins and a 4th for Dexter Lawrence. I think both the Bengals and the Giants would say no to that. I don't think the Bengals want to trade T. Higgins, and I don't know that just T. Higgins and a 4th would get the move done. But I am open. You bring up the Bengals. The Bengals are another team I think should be involved. I would be willing to trade one of the current defensive tackles and a 2nd for Dexter Lawrence, whether that be Chris Jenkins, who's on a rookie deal, or TJ Slayton, who I believe is on the last year of his current deal. Get that done because, whoever signs him is going to have to probably, give him that contract extension that he wants or give him that guaranteed money. The Texans are another team that should be in on Uh, Dexter Lawrence, in my opinion, they did just pick up the 5th-year options for CJ Stroud and Willie Anderson Jr. as well, and are actively working on extensions for those guys. So maybe they, want to see what those two cost before they, bring in another big name to work on a contract extension with. I did reach out to some people I know about the Bengals going after Dexter Lawrence. And I'm just going to pull up my Twitter feed here, my DMs, so I can get some direct quotes. So, my guy reached out to his guy, and basically, his guy's a scout, not a decision maker, and he has not heard anything that the Bengals have, anything on the table for Dexter Lawrence. He's gonna take. He thinks that he's gonna take a first or multiple day 2 picks, so that's why I'm thinking the T Higgins trade just wouldn't work. Um, he said that he didn't think a third and like Chris or TJ would get it done. So now I'm saying maybe a second and Chris or TJ. We'll see. New York media is reporting that since he has a package on the table, but based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like they don't. Also, it sounds like, you know, that sounds more like the Bengals to not have a package on the table in this situation. It's a big star player that is going to cost a lot of money, wants guarantees, and is going to be, 30 by the end of his current contract, I believe, or he's going to be close to it. Now, that isn't to say that the Bengals won't sign anyone over the age of 30. We saw them break that mold just this year with Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen is over the age of 30. They signed him. Shocking to me personally. But I don't think the Bengals are going to be in on Dexter Lawrence at the price the Giants are probably asking for him. That being said, I think the Bears could be a strong contender in the Dexter Lawrence sweepstakes, if we want to call it that. So Dexter Lawrence, let's see here. Let's look at the Bears roster. Let me pull that up here on my phone. I know they've got one guy. I think they're similar to the Chargers in that they've got like one player that kind of is carrying the brunt of that. So this is their starting 4-3. Their starting defensive tackles are Chris Jones. This is the Chiefs. Why did ESPN give me the Chiefs? Okay, ESPN is broken. Anyway, I think maybe ESPN knows something that we don't. Could have some breaking news here on accident. But my point being is that's a position you want depth at. The Bears, the 49ers, the Texans, and the Chargers all don't really have depth at it. I could see they've all got, first round, second round picks. Chris, I know you commented before that the Vikings have an extra third round pick that you'd be willing to give up. I know, Chris, you said keep them away from the NFC North, but they're in a win now situation. The Chicago Bears feel like they're in a win now situation with Ben Johnson as coach, Caleb Williams at the quarterback position. They've got a lot of young star rookies over there. They could go all in on this defensive line and bring in Sexy Dexy. I would not be shocked. Actually, I think they're probably my favorites to do so. The more I think about it, I think you should get used to seeing Dexter Lawrence in a Chicago Bears jersey if he gets traded. That's my pick for this. He just, he fits what they need, in my opinion, and they have the ability and the draft capital to go after him. They don't really have a ton of holes on their roster. Their defense is, the defense lost quite a few people, but we're adding to that defense with Dexter Lawrence. And, if you have a guy like Dexter Lawrence on your front line, that helps your linebackers and your safeties tremendously. So, yes, the Bears did lose on defense, but they would be gaining something massive up front here. And then they can fill those other pieces through the draft or, there are other free agents still available. Bobby Wagner's still available, for example. So the Bears, I think, are my favorite for this. Then they shouldn't have gotten rid of DJ Moore. They don't really have a wide receiver 2 now. I think they think I think they feel like not Matthew Golden. He's on the Packers. Luther Burden. I think they feel like he's the wide receiver too. I think they like him. Also, Colston Loveland acts a lot like a wide receiver in a lot of the schemes, and he's really good in that hook and ladder formation that Ben Johnson just absolutely loves. So they might, yeah, they don't have a true wide receiver too, but they may see Colston Loveland as that kind of fill in, similar to what the Bengals do with like Mike Gesicki, or even the Chiefs with Travis Kelsey when he was in his prime more. Just kind of, I think they offloaded DJ Moore because they felt comfortable with their young guys. They knew they could get the capital, and they knew they could get rid of the contract to get cheaper at that position. Also, they may be wanting to pay Rome soon, or Rome may be wanting to get paid soon. So they've got to watch out for that. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, that's a lot of weight to put on Luther Burden Jr. And hope that he, develops into that guy that you are wanting him to. But yeah, I think I'm hesitant to criticize Ben Johnson, and it's not Luther Burden. It's Luther Burden the third. I apologize, but I'm hesitant to criticize Ben Johnson on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Chris, you should know better than anyone. Ben Johnson knows his offense. He knows what he wants to do on offense. And if he thinks they can get away with not having DJ Moore on that roster, I trust him. I'm not going to criticize him too much for that. But right now, Dexter Lawrence to the Bears is my favorite if he gets traded. Obviously, Giants are the current favorite. Giants really don't have anyone behind him to fill his position either if they do trade him. So that would open up a need. Darius Alexander is a guy I liked last season from Fort Wayne. Went to Toledo and was drafted in the third round by the New York Giants. I think he's got potential, but he didn't really show it a ton in his rookie year. So I'm sure the Giants would like to see him develop more before they offload an asset like Dexter Lawrence, sexy Dexy. But we'll see what happens. Chris, I would start preparing for the Bears, though. In my opinion, that's where he's going to end up. And we got a lot of big man on the move the last few days. Let's see what else. I'm trying to read this. Oh, okay. This all goes together. It's all connected. We got some breaking news. I'm figuring out what's happening. So we're going to, run this real quick. We got some breaking news. The fire sirens are going by behind me as well. They're also alerting us to the breaking news. Let me get this photo pulled up here for the new starting tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know where the photo. Oh, I'm in videos. That's why. Silly me. That's the wrong file. Man, we are having technological issues all over today. Anyway, here we go. Jawan Taylor has signed a 1 year deal, base value $5 million, and an additional $1 million in incentives. Former Chiefs free agent offensive tackle Jawan Taylor reached that deal today with the Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons have a new starting right tackle. And that goes together with this announcement. Caleb McGarry is retiring from the NFL, the 31-year-old tackle. He signed a 2-year extension last year for $30 million. And then literally like 2 weeks later, suffered a knee injury. So he didn't even play. It sucks. I don't know what his, pay ended up being because of that, if he had any signing bonuses or whether they'll be like the Lions and ask for the money back. But yeah, that sucks for Caleb. Glad he's able to, make that decision though to retire before he gets beat up too much. But Jawan Taylor is the new Atlanta Falcons Starting for the yeah, I am not a so when here's a little bit of backstory for why I laugh. When the Cincinnati Bengals signed Orlando Brown Jr., a lot of Chiefs fans were like, haha, he sucks. We've got Jawan Taylor now. Like Jawan Taylor is so much better. And then obviously, mainly it kind of, if you remember 2 years ago during the kickoff game between the Chiefs and the Lions, Jawan Taylor was like false starting the entire game. And that kind of became what he was known for. He just, I don't know, for whatever reason, he just cannot get past those penalties. So maybe in Atlanta, they'll get him a bit more disciplined. Kevin Stefanski likes to have a disciplined offensive line, so I'm sure that will be a priority for him. But Jawan Taylor just is not. He's not that guy. He's not disciplined. He hasn't shown that he can, you know, not create those penalties. And even if he is an okay offensive tackle, even if he is okay at protecting the quarterback, he's digging his team into a hole by, creating those penalties. And, again, this is a game of inches. And when you get 5 yards or even 10 yards back on first down and you're starting 1st and 20 because your offensive line can't figure out when to actually start moving, yeah, it becomes a problem. So I don't think, based on the contract, though, I don't think they view Jawan Taylor as the um future of the team. They don't view him as the face of the offensive line. This is more of like they knew Caleb was going to be retiring. They knew that they needed to find a guy just to kind of plug that hole going into the draft so they don't have to reach on a player. But yeah, I think that this is trying to get this post up. Probably just a signing so that they can sign someone or draft someone and allow them time to develop. Um, it would be interesting to see how this causes the Falcons to, interact with the, uh, kind of top 15 pick. Because where's their draft pick? We haven't gotten over to the mock draft yet, but they are currently, they don't even have a first round pick because of the James Pierce trade. So their first pick is 48th. It would be interesting to me to see. So they definitely aren't probably going to get like Fano or Malagoa. They're going to be, wanting someone in that second round to fall, unless they trade back up into the first round like they did last year with James Pierce. But obviously that didn't go well. So we will see what happens there. But that's kind of where the storyline's set right now. Jawan Taylor, 1 year deal, $5 million base salary with $1 million in incentives. All right. What do we have any thoughts on that signing? I know Chris said he's glad that he's not a Falcons fan. Do we got any other opinions in here about Jawan Taylor, about Caleb McGarry, about life in general? Give you guys a minute to respond while I'm posting this. The people listen. I just realized the people listening on audio are just going to be like, there's silence. Yeah. So maybe I should keep talking. But okay, signing with Falcons. I've got to show Stan and Jonathan how to make these because they are going to be doing our first round of social media draft coverage. So a little bit of a tease for you guys. So draft night, first round, is going to be a bit interesting because of my schedule. I've got like a bucket list concert I really want to go to, like full disclosure, and so I'm going. But Jonathan and Stan will be taking care of you guys on social media. So we'll be updating everything on Instagram. We'll be updating everything on YouTube community tabs as per usual. And then when I get home from that concert on midnight, I will be doing a post first round draft recap. So we're going to be hanging out at midnight. So if you're still up, or maybe you're on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, it'll work out. Come hang out with us. Talk about what you saw on the draft. If you're happy, but yeah, keep that in mind. That will be on, well, midnight. So going into Friday morning, we're going to be talking about, those first round picks. We're going to be talking about Caleb Downs to the Bengals. We're going to be talking about Dylan Dynaman to the Vikings, maybe. But come hang out with us. Come maybe see I think Silver Wolf is still in here. We'll talk about who the Cardinals got. There's a little bit of a mystery in there, so that'll be fun to discuss. But yeah, so come hang out with us. That's just a little bit of tease. I'll put out a full announcement I think we got a lot of exciting things this year for the draft, and I'll put out more details on that later. But what kind of an NFL fan chooses a concert? It is Dwight Yoakam and ZZ Top, Chris. I know that you like 90s country, so it's ZZ Top and Dwight Yoakam combined, and like the ticket price was just insane. Also, if you knew me, like I love concerts. I'm going to one on Friday too. I love live music. But what kind of NFL fan? This NFL fan. But I kept you covered. I made sure you guys would be covered. I did not leave you in the dark. That was my one priority. I was actually, if they weren't able to do it, I was going to probably not go to the concert. But I have great friends and great guys that help me out with this. So yes, that I'm the type of NFL fan who does that. I apologize. Actually, no, I don't. I'm going to have a great time. The New York Giants, since we were talking about them a little bit, they've been signing offensive linemen left and right, and today is no exception. They signed Daniel Falele, guard from the Baltimore Ravens, added some depth, added a nice piece there to the roster that I think is going to contribute well. They're dedicated to protecting Jackson Dart, their franchise guy, big name up front. See, Chris said have fun. Now that I told him who it is, he's like, yeah, okay, never mind. But Daniel Falele is a New York Giant. Matt Lee from the Cincinnati Bengals, he was waived, and this is kind of what created the Dexter Lawrence kind of momentum of, BJ Hill was tweeting his former teammate, and then they waived Matt Lee, and there's the pieces are kind of there, if you're like Charlie Day and just have the crazy map of stuff, but I don't think that's where they're going. And Matt Lee was a fan favorite. A lot of people, myself included, thought he could be the future once Ted Karras eventually retired or left or whatever happened with him. Bit of an undersized former 7th rounder, and that now means that there's only one starter currently from that 2024 draft. That's Amarius Mims, the first round pick. Eric All still has some potential to develop, but it's not looking great for that draft. So Matt Lee, no longer on the Cincinnati Bengals, could see him. He could see him, signing somewhere else very quickly, because I think he's got a lot of potential, even though he's undersized. Formal endorsement from Silver Wolf for taking a day off for a concert. Thank you, Silver Wolf. I appreciate it. I sometimes you just need to rest. Like I said, it's been a rough week. We're here to chill. We're here to hang. Sometimes you need to go to a concert. Sometimes you need to go 1,000 miles from nowhere. Those of you who know Dwight Yoakam don't know what I'm saying, but it just, yeah. Should we get into the mock draft? I think, is there any other news that we want to discuss before we get into the mock draft? We have 2 rounds to get through with trades, so I want to make sure that we're, let's do this mock draft together. Let's have fun. Let's see what we could do. Let's see if we can knock out some accuracy here. But NFL mock draft, I've got the PFF big board pulled up right now. Get your guys in here. Get your big boards pulled up. Let's build the next. Let's predict the first and second days right now. Let's draft, Silver Wolf says. Okay. I am going to finally get this Jawan Taylor thing on Instagram. Have signed. You're all going to watch me right now. Jawan Taylor to a 1 year, 5M deal per Adam Schefter. You guys, if you're not following the Instagram, perfect plug. The plug or the username is nobuts_show. So go check that out. I post, everything on the community tab, shorts, stuff like that on there. So, Ty Simpson to the Bengals. I actually have a Ty Simpson video in the works. I was just writing notes about it for it this morning. So it's funny you say that. Ty Simpson and I keep wanting to call him Cole Strange. His name is not Cole Strange. Cole, the quarterback out of North Dakota. Anyway, I was going to make a video about them soon. Okay, it's up. It's up on there. If you go to the community tab, it's there. Let's share my tab so you guys can see what we've got going on over here. Okay. So I'm over in the corner. I think you guys can all see. Cole Payton. Yes, I keep wanting to call him Cole Strange or Cole Trickle. For those of you who know who Cole Trickle is, but I know that's not his name. Yes, Cole Payton. So Cole Payton and Ty Simpson are going to be getting a video soon. Let's see here. Mock draft simulator. Got all teams selected, 2 rounds. Speed doesn't really matter. This isn't going to matter because we're drafting for every team. Let's go. Okay, so we got the Raiders again. I think we can safely go with what we had last week. First round, Fernando Mendoza, right? I think we all know. I don't think the Kirk Cousins signing trade changes this at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and put Fernando Mendoza in there. He's not going to be watching the draft from the draft. He's going to be watching from home. New York Jets. Do we have any Jets fans in here right now? I don't think so. I think we're all fans of other teams. I'm still going Arvell Reese. I think the way they've built their roster is Arvell Reese. Silver Wolf, you're in here. What are we doing? You're a Cardinals fan. Let me know what your cards are doing. Your BPA is Jeremiah Love. Only Reese and Mendoza are off the board. You want to trade back? Whatever Silver Wolf says is what we're doing for the Arizona Cardinals. Your needs are quarterback, tackle, defensive interior, and linebacker. Chris is trading down if he is the Cardinals, but he's not Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf, you are the acting GM for the Arizona Cardinals. They want Reese, but are actively looking for a trade. Yeah, I don't know if Reese will fall to you guys. I mean, Dante Moore coming out of the draft really kind of screwed y'all. But what kind of trade do we want? So we got 4 trade options here that they're going to give you. Bengals are apparently one of them. To pick 10, Bucks to 15, Steelers to 21, Falcons at 48. So the Falcons are looking to trade up. We can also try and trade with another team. Let me know. Let me know what you think. You also have pick 34 as well. Keep that in mind. Very early in the second round. I will take it. You didn't tell me what to take. Who do you want to trade? Do you want to trade with someone? Do you want to take a player? Silver Wolf turned in his draft card and it just said yes on it. I would like all the players. No one's ever tried that before. 10, 72, 2027 third. So you want 10, 72, and a 2027 third. Okay, what are you giving up? Just get me out of 3. Okay, so we're gonna give up 3. Apparently that'll likely be accepted. So I think I'd be mad at Duke if he did that, but we'll do it for the sake of the game. Can't trust some. Okay, so now it's the Bengals with the third overall pick. Let's see here. Um, this would actually be a great situation for the Bengals, I guess. But other than I don't really like giving up that 72nd pick, but we need a linebacker. Gotta go Sonny Styles. I like Styles. Maybe a bit of an overdraft, but I like him. Titans gonna go Jeremiah Love. I think that's still true. Giants are interesting. I've been noticing the Giants have been bringing in a lot of wide receivers for visits. And so, based on what do we think the Giants do? We don't have any Giants fans in here. I will say last week, I believe we drafted Carnell Tate to them. Um, and he's, ranked 10th, average draft pick 8.6. So we a little bit of a reach where they're at. They could trade back in theory. They do need a guard, a linebacker, and a safety, which means Caleb Downs is up for grabs. Do we have any thoughts on what the New York Giants could do? I know there's a guy who listens on audio who's a New York Giants fan. Shout out Isaiah. Jordan Tyson is your wide receiver one. So where's he? He's 18th. So are you trading back if you're the New York Giants? Is that what we're doing? Or are we just not drafting a wide receiver? Are we taking Caleb Downs? I mean, they have Malik Neighbors as well. So they don't necessarily need a wide receiver one. I think I like Caleb Downs for them personally. Now that the Bengals are apparently picking third overall and taking Sonny Styles. Thank you, Silverwolf. Someone tell me who to pick. I like Caleb Downs. Can we get a vote for Caleb Downs? Tyson, no matter what. Are we trading back for Tyson, or are we just reaching on Tyson? Silverwolf said you're welcome. Chris is the one arguing for Jordan Tyson, by the way. Let's see what trade offers do we have. Can we get around that 18th pick? Yes, we can. Detroit Lions 17. Let's take a risk. Give that. And then I'm gonna need I'm gonna need a lot because we're trading really far back. Can I just take the line? Do we want to do that? That's the Lions' entire draft for pick 17 or pick 5. Are we good with that? I think I'm going to offer that. That'd be crazy. We're having fun here. Not accepted. I'm going to offer it again. What? It says trade will likely be accepted. What the heck? Okay. I got a little greedy. Okay, there we go. Brad Holmes said no. Okay, so now we've got the Lions. Lions need a tackle. Let's go. They need a tackle bad. So we're going to go with Francis. Every time I see his name, I think of Deadpool. Cleveland Browns. They need O-line help. Need a wide receiver. Need a quarterback. Well, we're not going to take a quarterback. Let's take. I don't know that they'll trade. We can trade. There'd be another one that could trade. Let's do Carnell Tate. I know he's not your guy, Chris, but I think Ohio State, like it's just Ohio State, Cleveland. It's too good to be. Running back, wide receiver, defensive line, safety. Let's go Ruben Bain Jr. to the Commanders. I got to speed this along here. We got a whole nother round to get through, people. David Bailey to the Saints, I think. Chiefs need a DB. They're going to take Caleb Downs. Quarterback, tackle, defensive interior, linebacker for the Cardinals. Silverwolf, you're back up. Pick 10. You like Delane, Thieneman, Fano, Monroe Freeling. Trade again. Okay. You got Cowboys at 12, Patriots 31, trade out of Seahawks at 32, and trade out of the first round at pick 42 for the Saints. Take your pick. $12.92, future third for pick 10. There's a 62% chance to be accepted. That's over 50. Not accepted. We got to add something else to it. We got to sweeten the pot. Silver Wolf. What else are you willing to throw in? Just so everyone can see, you offered. Jerry said no. Next year's fourth. Okay. 75% chance. Not accepted. Oh, you don't have. Oh, wait. Hang on. I did that wrong. That's why it wasn't accepted. Wait. No, hang on. There, we got it. Okay. Nailed it. Okay. Cowboys need a defensive interior linebacker, cornerback. Probably not going to trade. I still got Thieneman for. Why am I getting an F? You said you wanted Thieneman to the Vikings. I still got Thieneman available. And I think Delane is going to go to the Cowboys because they like their corners. You got the Dolphins need a wide receiver, a guard, and a defensive back. They need a wide receiver bad. I could see them going to get, some developmental help. It could go Lemon. Arizona Cardinals. Silverwolf, if you trade back again, you guys need a tackle. There are 2 tackles right here. Which tackle do you want? Do you want Spencer Fennell or Monroe Freeling? Dude, you know how frustrated Cardinals fans are going to be on. Oh my gosh. Trade again? Okay. Got one offer. Pick 17. Do you want pick 17? What are you willing to give up for pick 17? Let me know what you want for pick 17. Silverwolf wants all the picks. He's like 1737 for 12 and a future third. Okay. 62% chance. They accepted it. You're in. Okay. New York Giants are up. Okay. We had Jordan Tyson earbooked for them. So Jordan Tyson to the Giants. Wide receiver, tackle, linebacker. Let's go Spencer Fano for the Rams. Ooh, Ravens. Jets draft Ty Simpson with their next first rounder. We can probably lock that in. I think he'll be available for that. We need a wide receiver, center, guard, linebacker. I think we gave them Oliva Vega last time, so let's do that again. I don't see an issue with that. Kenyon Sadiq, I think, to the Bucks is a pretty safe bet. Jets. Okay, so you're saying, oh, wait. So remember, they traded back, Chris. So they still haven't drafted. So who are they drafting with their first rounder? We're not. I doubt that we're not taking Ty Simpson top 16. We're not doing that. I think McCoy is a fair pick. Coming off injury, fell off a little bit, but has a ton of upside. Didn't play last year. 2024 was obviously phenomenal. I think McCoy is a fair grab. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Arizona Cardinals. Oh, Silver Wolf. It's time for you to trade. Got Thieneman, Monroe Freeling, CJ Allen, and Akeem Misador. Tyson went to the Giants. Oh, you want a guy. You want Proctor. Okay. You want Proctor. We're locked in on Caden Proctor for you. Okay. Draft the right Caden. Okay. Caden Proctor to the Arizona Cardinals. They finally made a pick. Okay. So, yes, sir. Chris Vikings. You got Dylan Thieneman, Monroe Freeling, CJ Allen, Akeem Misador. Jordan Tyson is gone. Your next wide receiver is Amari Cooper Jr., who I think could be fantastic in the slot. You also have EMW there for safety if you're not sold on Thieneman, but let me know what you think. Thieneman is BPA. You'd be getting him at a pretty good value here, I think, based on his combine and how he's done and his film. I'm so proud of trade back. Okay. What do you want? What do we want? You got 5 offers. You got Chargers at 22, Eagles 23, Seahawks 32, Cardinals 34, Buccaneers 46. We're all hanging out. We're all just chilling. What do you like? I mean, you guys don't have a GM right now, so you get to be the GM for the Minnesota Vikings. It's really exciting. Do 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 do. Waiting on Chris Vikings. Do 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 do. Waiting for him to tell me what to do. Do 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 do. 2286. Okay. And 123. Okay. So 2286 and 123 for pick 18. 70% chance. Accepted. Okay. So now we got the Chargers. B. Frank ain't in here. I know he really wanted a guard. That'd be a bit of a reach in my opinion. Where's the next guard available? Yeah, we're not. I mean, yeah, we can take him in the second round probably. Wide receiver. I'm just saying, I really like Amari Cooper Jr. I really, really like Amari Cooper Jr. I think he could be really good on that team. I'm gonna go Amari Cooper Jr. B. Frank ain't here to tell me not to do it. Carolina Panthers need a center, defensive interior, wide receiver, tight end. There's nothing good here for them. Nothing. I think we got to trade back. Let's trade. I want to send them back to Buffalo. There we go. So now we got Buffalo, who needs a guard, defensive interior, safety, linebacker. I think they're going to go linebacker or safety. I think they'll go. They need a safety. They need safeties bad. So I think Thieneman's coming off the board. This is the risk you take trading back, Chris. But I think objectively, Thieneman's coming off the board. He's BPA and he fits a need. I'm apologizing. Defensive interior, linebacker, cornerback. They already got a nice corner, so we're going to go linebacker, CJ Allen to the Cowboys. Pittsburgh Steelers, quarterback, running back, guard, tackle. Monroe Freeling, I like that for them. Vikings trading back again at 22. You got one offer from the 49ers for pick 27. So, Chris, what are you giving up for pick 20? What do you want for pick 27? Trading back 5. We're going to have to speed through the second round. What do you want? What do you want? They got 58, 127, 133, 138, and 139. And then all of next year's picks as well. Dion is trying to speak Joey Bosa to the Vikings into existence on his page. 20 cents. I assume you meant 138 because 136 isn't there. That will not be accepted. You got to add a pick or probably take out 58. Either take out 58 or add a pick here. You guys got a ton of picks, though. So let me know what you want me to do because that will not be accepted as currently requested. I'll show you what both. I can't show you what both. Well, these are your picks. Take out 58. Okay, fair enough. Should be accepted. Offer trade. Boom. 49ers. Need an edge. I like Messidor for them. I think he's got he's a little older, which is a little concerning because you kind of wonder why they didn't have these premiums while they were like 21. But I think he's got more production than Keldrick Falk, so that's why I'm going to go. Keldrick Falk I view as kind of a Shamar Stewart, if that makes sense, where he's got a lot of potential, a lot of hype behind him, but not the production numbers. So I think we're going to go Akeem Misador to the to the 49ers. I believe we gave them a tackle last draft, so that's a little bit different. Wide receiver, this could be fun. I like this. Reuniting what's his name? Quinion Mitchell with EMW, 2 Toledo alumni. Safety's a need for them. Let's give it to them. I like it. Browns back up. They need a tackle. I think we're going to give them Blake Miller. Bears have so many trade options here. They have 10. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Center, defensive line, and safety. Do we think they draft Caden McDonald here? I think Caden McDonald and I guess Cassius Howell as well are the only two options that we really have for the Bears without them trading back. Or do we think the Bears are going to trade back? And then, of course, there's a Dexter Lawrence. I wonder. You're going to hate this, Chris. I'm sorry. The Vikings want to trade with the Bears. Do you guys want to do that? I want to see something now. If it will let me do this. Where are they? Where are you, Christmas? How can I find you? Dexter Lawrence for pick 25. They're not interested. What? I tried. Okay, Chicago Bears, not drafting, not trading for Dexter Lawrence. Let's give them. You know what? I'm mad at them. We're giving them Caden McDonald. They're going to reach. Take that. Back with the Panthers, wide receiver, tight end, center, defensive interior. Oh, they should have taken McDonald, but he got taken right before. Man, that sucks. I don't like any of these picks for them. I really don't. What are our trade offers? Silver Wolf, you want to trade with the Panthers? You like to trade. You want more picks? The Panthers want to trade. The Cardinals want to trade with the Panthers. No tie. No. Oh, you want tie? You pick 34. Okay. Okay. Carolina Panthers. Or are you saying no? Thank you. I don't know. Either one. Carolina Panthers. I think you're gonna be reaching here. I get that he's ranked higher, but I like Peter Woods more than Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks has had a ton of injuries. No, thank you. Not no tie. Okay. Vikings. Who we drafting? Who we taking? Falk. Avian. I know you like Terrell. Are we going Terrell here, Chris? Let me know. I'm right here. I can press the button. Got some other Clemson guys available as well. We're gonna go a little bit over. Be exciting. It's gonna take forever to upload this episode to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but that's okay. We're having fun. We're having fun. Who am I taking, Chris? I need to know. No Terrell. No Terrell. Who are we taking? What are we doing? What are we doing? Caleb Banks. Ooh. Okay. I'm not big on Caleb Banks. If you're big on Caleb Banks, we'll do it. We'll take it. I'll give it to you. Houston Texans, center, guard, defensive interior. There's so many teams that need centers. I didn't realize this, and it's just they not there in the early rounds. Same with running backs. They may just have to go BPA here. What do our trades look like? Maybe pick 31, 28. Okay, we'll do that. I'm trying to be fair to all the teams, but I also don't know the trade philosophies of all the teams, I guess, or draft philosophies. Tackle, defensive line, linebacker. I guess Keldrick Falk. Give us some time to develop. Someone is at the front door. Wide receiver, edge, defensive back. Cassius Howell to the Chiefs. And then the Dolphins need a defensive back. I think they're going to go Terrell. There's just no one for the Texans. The Texans are in like a no man's land. Kristen Miller, I guess. We'll reach on him a little bit. Running back, edge, defensive back. TJ Parker to the Seattle Seahawks. And we're in round 2. So we've got the New York Jets. We've all decided Ty Simpson is going to the Jets, right, with this pick. Is that what the consensus was? So Ty Simpson to the New York Jets. First pick of round 30 or round 2. So Ty Simpson, Arizona Cardinals, Silver Wolf, you are up. You have 2 picks this round because you traded like all of your picks in the first round. So you've got pick 34 and 37. Let me know what you want to do. You currently have. I'm trying to figure out. Usually there's a way to see who you've already picked, but here we go. Caden Proctor. So you've got a tackle. You've got Caden Proctor. So let me know who you want here now. Max Ionankor to play guard. Okay. Titans. We got him a running back. So they need a center, a guard, edge, or a linebacker. Again, Emmanuel Pregnon could be Our guy, let's protect Cam Ward. Protecting Cam Ward is a priority for us. Wide receiver, we've got Jalen Naylor. We got to get Fernando Mendoza some weapons, get Kirk Cousins some weapons. Just great player. Contested catch rate gonna be. This is the type of guy Fernando needs. Someone who's like gonna help him out. Isn't because Fernando is really good, but he's not, going to lead you to the promised land alone. He needs talented wide receivers, and I think Denzel Boston provides that. Colton Hood, okay, or Colton Hood is your BPA, Silverwolf. Who do you want now? Final pick of this mock draft. 37. You have 2 tackles, one of which you want to move over to guard. Caleb Lameau is there as well if you want to take a 3rd tackle, if you're feeling spicy. Your earliest available linebacker is Jacob Rodriguez at 43. I'm going to tell you, though, if you trade back past the Bengals, I'm probably going. Well, no, I took Sonny Styles, so I don't need. Okay. Yeah, never mind. I like Jacob Rodriguez, though. He's a very good player. Has a little bit of a missed tackle issue, but his turnover rates kind of make up for it. Silverwolf, let me know what we're doing. Lee Hunter's here. Yeah. Hood. Okay. Colton Hood to Cardinals. Cardinals are out unless they trade back in at some point. Let's see. Who did we end up with the Texans? Kristen Miller. So they've got defensive interior. We need. Why did this? We need center, guard. Does Lameau have any? He has no experience at guard. That's just awful. I don't want to reach. I don't want to reach for any of these teams because I feel like that's dishonest, but I also don't want to keep just trading back. I guess we'll go Lameau and just figure it out later. That's my draft philosophy. We got wide receiver, tackle. They need a guard too. Need a quarterback. We're not taking a quarterback. That's just silly. Who's our top wide receiver? Chris Bell. Guess we're going Chris Bell. Who did we? Caleb Downs, Cassius Howell. They need a wide receiver. Concepcion is there. Let's go Concepcion. Bengals. Okay. I'm going to completely ignore needs for the Bengals because I really like D'Angelo Pons. I think he's an undersized guy who can be really good in the slot. I think he's really technical, really good player who's going to be undervalued. And yes, I like Jacob Rodriguez, but we already took Sonny Styles. I really like D'Angelo Pons. I think he can be another Mike Hilton type player. So that's my justification for taking him here. Saints. David Bailey is who they took in the first round. Let's see. They do need defensive line. Lee Hunter is our BPA, so we're just going to give that to them. Wide receiver. Who did we get in the first? Oh, so they've got Mekhi Lemon and Avion Terrell. So they've got wide receiver and DB met. They're another guards and centers. Interior O-line is not there's not a lot of it in this draft early on. Chase Besantis, New York Jets. So they got Ty, they got Jermod, and they've got Arvell, linebacker, corner, and quarterback. They need a wide receiver. Jeremy, do we like Jeremy? I kind of like Jeremy because we've got Ty. Kind of not great versus man coverage. That's a bit of a reach, though. I think let's trade back because I like him for the Jets, but I don't like where he's at. So we're gonna do this. Falcons. Falcons, we gave them nobody. Falcons need a wide receiver, defensive interior, linebacker, and corner. Corner's right there, Brandon Seiss. Baltimore Ravens, we gave them a guard, Ale Vavega. They still need a center, wide receiver, and linebacker. We'll give them Jacob Rodriguez. See, that's the type of thing the Ravens do is they draft the guys I like. So that's probably a very likely thing to happen. They did it with Malachi Starks last year. Buccaneers got Caleb Sadiq, or Kenyon Sadiq, excuse me. Edge is Zion Young, probably BPA, good. Colts need a wide receiver, defensive interior, linebacker, and safety. Chris Johnson, what type of forced incompletions, dropped interceptions, 1, missed tackles, 3, not too bad. Average depth of target 12.8. Zone coverage grade. This is a Lou Anarumo guy, I think. It seems like a Lou Anarumo guy. He likes his hybrid schemes. Not a great run defender, but not terrible. I think Chris Johnson ends up going. But he's not really in need. I don't know. We're going to go Chris Johnson. And then Jeremy. See, this is what I wanted. I think that's more fair. Chris Vikings, what do you got here for us? Your final pick 49. What do we got, Chris? Search CB and safety. These are your options. Keith Abney, AJ Halchi, Keontae Scott, Traden Stukes are your top 4. AJ Halchi. Okay. Let's see. Giants. Who did they take? Jordan Tyson. We need guard, linebacker, safety. I hate the way this is falling. I do not like this draft, but that's okay. There's just no way. Maybe we can trade back to where's Golday? Let's try and get him. 60. Let's trade back to like 58 if we can. 54 is the best we can do. Give me this as well. 42%. We'll try. Hey, we got it. Okay. Eagles, we gave them EMW at safety. Let's give them an edge since wide receiver ain't cooking. We'll give them R. Mason Thomas. We're going to give the Panthers Eli Stowers, which he's a pretty big fella, I believe. Like, insanely tall. Yeah. Or, okay, he's not as big as I thought. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. 6'4", though. Not too bad. Green Bay Packers. Have not drafted yet, so this is a premium guard. They need a guard. Look at how many teams need guards. It's just insane. But they do need a CB. So Keith Abney. Oh, Steelers. They got Monroe Freeling at tackle. Again, another team that needs a guard. Running back, quarterback. There's nothing good for him. Nothing good for him. What is our trade offer? 56. Okay. Punter. I assume that was for the Vikings, but what is happening? My brain is not like functioning right now. There we go. Tight end, defensive line, linebacker. Gabe Jackus, you're a Jacksonville Jaguar. Your picks. Jordan Tyson to the Giants. We need a guard, linebacker, safety. It feels like every team needs the same exact thing. Does Jennings have any experience at guard? No, he does not. Does Keontae Scott have any experience at safety? A little bit. He moves around a little bit, but he's mostly in the slot. Screw it. I'm giving him Jadarian Price. I know it's not a need, but they're taking him. I don't know. In case Cam gets hurt again. That's my excuse. I can do what I want. Wide receiver. Chargers took Amar, I believe. Yep. Defensive interior. Would they go wide receiver twice, we think? Maybe? Maybe they trade back? Oh, try and get him this. That's crazy. I would not have accepted that. Anyway, tackle. Just as a reminder, they took Falk. We're going to have them take Jennings at right tackle. Steelers are here again. Oh, boy. I don't know. Who's their next available quarterback? Probably Garrett. Yeah, Garrett way down there. That's insane. No, can we just trade out of this round? I'm going to trade the boat there. I'm tired of dealing with the Steelers crap. Bills. Who did we take? Safety. They need a linebacker, defensive interior. Jake Galday. Give him. Defensive interior for the Bears. They need a center and a safety. That's just those two are just such premium positions in this draft, which is weird. I guess we'll just go BPA. 49ers took Messidor. I think what we're learning is that if you have a lot of centers on your team or guards, you might be getting phone calls on draft night. Joshua Josephs, I guess. Defensive interior and tackle. I would guess we're kind of getting to the point where you have to go BPA. Brazel. Skylar Bell. Hey, you know what? You said that they didn't have the wide receiver. They got a wide receiver now. Fano. Who's our linebacker? Josiah Trotter. We speeding through this. I don't think the Broncos picked. They did not. Wide receiver, tight end, defensive interior, linebacker. Bryce Lance. So they can give him time to develop. I'm going to go tackle here just because their tackles have been injury riddled. Let's see. 49 or Seahawks took TJ Parker, edge. Need a running back, need a DB. Let's give him Keontae Scott. We made it. We made it to the end, guys. Congrats. Good job, everyone. So just a quick recap of our first round here. Bengals took Sonny Styles. Cardinals kept trading back until they finally settled on Caden Proctor. Vikings ended up with Caleb Banks in the first round. Well, I'll tell you what. I got a meeting, but I appreciate all of you guys sticking with me. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Make sure to share the channel. Links down below. Merch. As always, the Piper's Pick sticker is there. Get a shirt, get a hat, get a sticker. Share the podcast that way. It helps us out so much. But of course, settle the best line in the draft. It got a little wonky there at the end, but yeah, maybe. But yeah, I appreciate you all for sticking around. If you're listening back later, I appreciate you as well. I appreciate everyone listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Make sure to check it out on YouTube. Come hang with us next week, and I'll get that draft coverage guide out to you ASAP. But until next time, I appreciate you all so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Silver Wolf is sending us off with everyone stay safe. Thanks, guys. Have a great night. And until next time, go do something nice for someone.